Yo, Vegas lights shine bright, Badboyz sitting pretty. Michael, Steve, Rob running things in Sin City. Podcast blazing truth, rhyming hard and witty. Three kings on the mic, Vegas life gets gritty. Matt Michaels dropping bombs, quick wit, no filter. Sin City's own, blending gold with the silver. Steve taking notes, every word's a thriller. Rob's on the tracks, beats cold like a chiller. Badboyz a podcast, raw truth they broadcast. Speaking facts so fast, haters coming dead last. Las Vegas legends, three amigos top class. Mic in hand, setting fire, never outclassed.
Hey everybody, Matt Michaels, Rob Busselary, and Sin City Steve here on the biggest Badboyz of podcasting. And well, we survived, right? WrestleMania week is officially over, and that leads us straight into the new week and TNA Rebellion that just happened last night. Joe Hendry retains the TNA championship, and then afterwards, Trick Williams comes out of nowhere to lay him out. And this goes back to a little appearance by Joe Hendry at NXT this past Tuesday here in Vegas, where he wanted to talk to Oba. And looks like we might be seeing Oba and Joe here coming up. And Trick wasn't too happy that he was tossed out of the ring by both Joe and Oba. So, you know, TNA, LA, big pay-per-view. Some other things going on there. We have new tag team champions in the Namath brothers. And if you guys didn't see the Hardy's compound match with Ryan, well, it wasn't even a match. Ryan,
it was just a scuffle.
Well, they showed up to steal the tag belts and did the old Indiana Jones thing where Nick put a weight on the thing as he was taking out. Yeah, and it was literally a dumbbell. And they did some of the best things with Ryan that I've ever seen done, with having him interact with the kids brilliantly. If there's anyone who really, you could tell, was just having fun with these kids and trying to stay in character, because the kids were, you know, getting smiles and you could see they were kind of cracking up. But to see a silent film version of Maxwell and Nick or Ryan Namath wrestling was fucking hysterical. And then he went through therapy with one of the kids, and then he was turned into goth Ryan Namath by the littlest Hardy, who this little goth girl, and boom, she turns him into this guy. And all this was happening to Ryan while he was being held underwater by Matt. So it was all in his head. It was just phenomenally done, and led to them going out there and winning the tag belts. The new international champion was defeated Eric Young and then got hung by a chain outside the ring. So it looks like they're not necessarily over. We got to see X-Pac and team with the Rascals, who called him in to help with their match with Ace against the System. And we got a little crotch chop. You got retaining the tag titles, Ash and Heather by Elegance. And we also got the announcement from the front row, Andy Hartwell is now TNA. So it was a big pay-per-view. It was pretty packed house as well, and just phenomenal stuff they're continuing to do over at TNA.
Good for them. Unfortunately I didn't see any of the show, but just based off of your description of the Hardys match, I have to check that out.
I was happy to see
the Hardys match, by the way. That was on Thursday. So
okay.
check out the episode from this past Thursday.
Hell yeah.
But you were talking about you're talking about the Hardys compound thing was Thursday, but they did have the fight
the actual match.
on that. Yeah, and it was great. I want to talk about the revitalization of D-Generation X. And that Sean Waltman, the smallest guy of D-Gen X, was gigantic by comparison.
I mean, look, Ace looks like Billy Gunn in those trunks and his body type. I mean, Trey kind of looks like X-Pac. Wentz could be going for the Triple H look. Yeah, you know.
They did every signature move.
Yeah.
From the D-Gen X, Rolodex of moves. And back then, with D-Gen X was a Rolodex. So it was amazing. It was a really good match. And they didn't it was fluid for doing a whole bunch of other people's signature moves. It wasn't awkward.
No, it was a really well put together match. That was a great match. Tessa lost to Masha Slamovich. Moose retained the X Division championship in an Ultimate X. I think the best moment of that was Moose was afraid to climb, so he sent Alicia up to climb on the ropes, and she's done it before. And then she couldn't hold on. She falls into his arms, and then he turns around and just gets stiff kicked in the face, and just goes flat back. It was just so well executed. A lot of crossover again, looking at NXT talent. Metaphor was in that match with Gigi and Tatum Paxley in that women's championship match in that 4-way. They had a great week because on Tuesday they got to wrestle Liv and Raquel. And that was a freaking solid ass match for those two and their showing. We also know now that Liv is needing time off because she's going to film a movie. So that was announced tonight on Raw. So
is this a movie that's got like just a 15-minute scene, or?
Well, she needs time off. It's obviously a little bit more. Otherwise, she'd be doing, go do the movie during the week and then, film.
Well, sometimes they need to heal afterwards.
Well, I mean, listen, it's no Soraya film.
Oh, so. I mean, those are legends. I mean, I think those comes on VHS.
I don't know where it comes, but if you stop it at the right point and you you forget that it's in the VCR still, and friends come over to your house and they press play on the video, they know exactly where you came. So just saying, when you get to be old enough to have had video experiences. So yeah, and Hendry had a great week, obviously, with everything that he did. Ending up retaining that title. Looks like they have something going forward with him and Trick, possibly. Maybe at TNA's next pay-per-view. It's going to be interesting to see how they're fitting those three pieces together between him, Oba, and Trick. The NXT show on Tuesday was a good, solid show, which might end up being moved next year back to the Performance Center, just because there seemed to be a little fatigue of the crowd afterwards. Yeah, just a little bit.
It felt like as if we were in a vacuum, like hardly any kind of a reaction from the crowd to virtually anything that was going on. So that's definitely a smart move for them to make as well. It was a good show. It wasn't like it was a snoozer of a show. But unfortunately, it just people were not into it.
Yeah, and it wasn't until I saw on television, I didn't even realize that Jordan Grace appeared when Julia appeared, because she was in the balcony and it wasn't lit. See, you were there, you didn't even know.
Yeah, no.
And on television, they showed him like, oh, there's Jordan Grace. And she was up and she was kind of eyeballing, both of them too. So Jordan's still in that mix as well. The the big thing as we now head away from WrestleMania was what happened with this week on some of the main shows. This guy is back. Rusev is all WWE. And this guy, Aleister Black, is all WWE. Nice to see.
No, is
them.
that Tommy End or is that Malachi End? Aleister Black. Oh, wait, hold on now.
Well, I mean, this guy, it was really cool that he came out and played a video game as his debut. Oh shit.
I mean, all I have to say with Rusev is, hopefully he's okay with losing to people, being back in WWE, because that was always the argument of why he was never on AEW TV, is because of creative differences and him not willing to put people over. So.
Yeah, well, he's wrestling Otis next week, so he's wrestling a guy who's willing to put people over. So
yeah. He also said this thing, I'm going to do this for myself, not because other people tell me to. So that means no Lana for the most part, unless I read that wrong, which she's the attraction.
No, and rumor is that she might have signed a Legends deal. So
yeah, she signed the Legends contract.
Right. So that would be the reason, we'd see her. But look at how fucking ripped he is and shit. Like, he's in shape now. That's the other thing. He transformed his body a little bit, which
he never looked that bad in AEW. Not really. He looked worse leaving WWE when they had him in penny loafers and white khaki pants, and it was like, oh my god, what did they do to you?
Handsome Rusev.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, he was a cuck. Don't forget. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what
Bobby Lashley covered in black makeup from Lana. I mean, that was cringy. That was cringy.
Well, but the point is that Rusev, he never was cut. He was always a bigger build, but never cut. And it looks like he's taken the time to actually, transform the body a little bit, which is a big thing. Anything that we expect from Aleister Black, it already looks like, with that entrance, that classic coffin entrance, it already looks like they're going to roll the dice with him, and
they're strapping a rocket to his back.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And realistically, how cool is it that on the very same show in back-to-back segments, Zelina Vega gets her big win and her husband re-debuts on WWE programming? I know I just kind of jumped the gun with that, but still.
Yeah, no, absolutely true. I think that's one of the reasons they probably, gave her this win to become a United States champion, was because of the fact that, he was debuting. So why not give the family a little something to, celebrate that night? That's not a bad thing. It's also perfectly good for Chelsea because, Tiffany is a face.
Yeah.
So now you clear up that strap off her. Yeah, bring her up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see.
Who chases Zelina now?
Who chases Zelina? I don't know, but whoever it is better watch out, because Aleister Black probably kicked their ass. So probably Damian Priest.
Probably. I see.
They're going to have one funky looking goth Puerto Rican kid.
Puerto Rican?
Yeah, it's a guy. Oh, well, Damian Priest. Never mind. That their kid will be Damian Priest.
You do have to wonder how tensions are between Damian Priest and Rusev. When they're going to be in the same building, if that ever happens. Just saying.
Well, I mean, let's face it, they put them on separate shows. Right off the bat. So, Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, they apparently CJ and him have rekindled their love. Uh, so you know, bygones be bygones. I don't know.
I guess.
If you have CJ Perry, you figure out what you need to do to make that work. Okay. If you have to learn how to speak with a Bronx accent, you make that shit work.
Yeah. I mean, she's just a little better than Eva Marie, so I don't know.
Only slightly.
Speaking about some really good talent, Axiom and Nathan Frazier on SmackDown now. I can't stress enough, if you haven't watched Hank and Tank versus those two guys from Stand and Deliver, it was just one of the
Good
better
match.
tag team matches. And these guys, I mean, possibly my favorite tag team of all time now. They should never have worked. Never. And their dynamic is phenomenal, not only in ring, but they play a tag team who really at any point could just break apart because of their egos, and it just melts together, which is something that something that isn't great in normal wrestling terms. And here we get to see them work together. Be okay.
My only thing with that is,
oh god, CJ Perry.
oh yeah, I know. I mean, so many loads have been spilled. That's why so many WWE fans had diapers on that day, just preparing, but it didn't happen. No depends. With Fraxium, I love the idea that they're in the main roster. They deserve it, all the best. Why SmackDown? It seems like there's a saturation of tag teams there.
That's probably why. It's just better tag teams. Focus. That's where you're going to get the time too. You got New Day and the War Raiders, and that's it. Like, that's kind of raw. I think that SmackDown, Fraxium versus the Motor City Machine Guns, can't go wrong. Fraxium versus Street Profits, can't go wrong. Fraxium versus DIY, can't go wrong. I mean, just look at that talent and add those two guys in the mix, and you're talking all three of those teams could have matches that are, just off the hook with these guys. But you put them with the War Raiders, they'll do fine, but they're the War Raiders. They're big guys. Put them with New Day, wouldn't be bad, but they're going to get their ass handed to them most likely because they're the heels. Yeah, so that's probably why. I mean, tag is always, it's always secondary to some extent because it's two guys, and the one guy is easier to push than two guys. That match between Hank and Tank with Fraxium is incredible between these four teams. Plus, Fraxium in the first debut as a tag team is fantastic until we know it will be the next level, and either brand is going to, it's going to be the next level. It's pretty freaking awesome. Speaking of going to the next level, we saw a little tonight on Raw, the fallout from last Monday with Seth and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman now forming, as internet nerds like to say, the Dangerous Alliance. They've already anointed Becky in there, so. But good stuff tonight. Sami Zayn given the opportunity by Paul Heyman to go to SmackDown and get a title shot for the winner of the Cena Orton match, and he gave a great Zayn again. Gives such good promos. Him and Seth did that wonderful promo tonight about the fact that their kids are friends. They've been longtime friends forever, but as professionals, go to hell, Seth. And man, Braun just ate Sammy for breakfast, and Seth kept giving him the chance to take the deal. But
you take the friggin' deal. Come on, just do it. I liked in that promo that Sami Zayn was in tears He would look, his face was welling up red, and the acting. He is the Renaissance guy in that ring. And they've given him belts, deservedly so, but he's exactly who you would want for that segment. But the segment looks eerily similar to what we saw at the end of Elimination Chamber, where somebody who was holding the levers of power went. And that's exactly the motion Seth made to Braun Breaker, who then proceeded to, lap the ring and spear the crap out of Sami Zayn for the 4th time. So this is eerily similar. Oh, if you just do what I tell you to do, you're going to get everything you ever wanted. So I hope they do something good with it and not drop the ball with this version of the storyline. But so far, so good.
I mean, they just did something good with it, and that is they fucking beat the fuck out of him. And I don't know.
No, I'm saying, yeah, they so far so good.
But I don't know if we're gonna see Sami on TV for a little bit. Take him out for a little bit. Unlike Cody, you had to put right back on.
Right. He shows up at Backlash. And I don't know. They'll probably put him on Backlash versus Seth Rollins or Braun Breaker. Interference.
Well, you could also do a tag match, possibly. Have Sami with maybe Jay or something like that. But this is a good point, too. Don't forget, will be a third member to join them. Maybe Austin Theory, Carmelo Hayes, or Trick Williams. So, possibility of putting in a third member is definitely true.
So far, no man. No Becky Lynch so far.
No, and
she doesn't necessarily need it.
Well, but again, the whole thing is that WWE doesn't put women into the factions. For the most part, that's not a thing. Even with Chyna, when she was in DX, she was still really the bodyguard. She wasn't wrestling the guys until she got off on her own. So, or had one.
That is the one thing about TNA that I appreciate, that they have a more equal field with the women. And when they do have a woman get in the match, they make it believable, except for the one time where they had Tessa Blanchard beat Brian Cage. And I was like, no. She doesn't have enough bullets in that Magnum.
Wow, you're such a sexist.
I'll be the biggest sexist for her. It'll be sexist like she's never experienced before, okay? She wants to know what the diamond standard is, okay? The diamond, we'll polish your diamonds. Believe me.
The traditional approach of don't hit girls will get with the times. I mean, hit that bit.
I think what was the one that they tried to was when they had Rhea Ripley in a mixed tag match, and she tried to do a suplex onto Zawa, and her eyes exploded out of her skull, and I went, "Yep, they'll never do that again," because that guy is little, like. And I get it. They're going to jump, and they're going to, the guy who's getting the hit, who's taking that bump, is the one doing most of it. But I don't know what she did on that one. I remember her fight. And that was the end of that. We never saw anyone do anything like that. As soon as the women get tagged, they come in, the men go out. But, man, TNA has it dialed in. Fuck that chivalry bullshit. And the words of Callahan, you are not a woman. You're a combatant. You're a competitor. That's how I'm going to treat you. It's like, fuck yes. He got an applause for that and damn well deserved it. Now, if he stapled her tongue to a freaking table, I might have minded that a little bit. Now we're getting into this is getting really, now we're going in the other direction. Oh, Christ. He's sitting there with a barbed wire bat and he stapled her tongue, her tits to a table. Jesus Christ. Then I'd have a problem.
Well, I mean,
I would hope so.
If he stapled her tits to the table, I mean, it'd be a hell of a lot better.
I'm going to be going up against Thunder Tits. I can't do his voice, but,
Big announcement for Backlash. Gunther versus Pat McAfee, man. Holy shit. I mean, again, you can't go wrong with guys who can work enough to get that attention, right?
Over under on minutes.
Oh, I think McAfee gets his ass handed to him for 5 to 7 minutes. Like,
yeah, it under 10 minutes for sure.
Right, and gets and literally takes a pounding. He'll get some offense in, but the whole idea that this has to set up whatever the next Gunther feud is, right? So someone has to come and save McAfee. And according to the promo tonight, it looks like Michael Cole. So hopefully we'll see Michael Cole versus Gunther.
Great. Dust off the fucking orange singlet.
Well, I heard you say someone has to take a pounding and somebody has to come. So Tessa, we're looking for you. Somebody has to come and you're going to take a pounding. It's going to be a tremendous pounding. Believe me. Believe me.
Wow, man. Said the word orange and he appeared.
Exactly.
I believe in Donald.
All right. We get Randy versus Cena at Backlash. They had a great exchange. That whole idea of John throwing a promo about I raised your kids to the fans. Again, it's valid storytelling. It's something to it, right? It's not just RKO, we're going to fight, we have the match, and that's that, right? Something.
Well, that was, but the lead up to that was, Randy going, you should have had kids. That would have made you a better person.
Right.
I didn't need kids. I raised all of your kids, and I did a damn better job than you ever could have. Yeah. He's the whiniest bitch version of himself that he's ever been, but he's not necessarily wrong. He's coming from a point of truth, and everything he's saying, there's a nugget in there.
Yeah. And thanks for bringing up Nugget and Kansas City or St. Louis at the same time, and just all these tragedies. Thanks, Rob, bringing the show down. Speaking of bringing the show down, Steve, what the fuck was this?
Make him say,
nah.
Oh my god, dude.
So
go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead. Just let it rip.
No, please.
I saw
you
it too.
explain first. Maybe I'm a little slow. I
mean, okay, so I understand the tie-in with where they were. It made sense. So Master P is a very influential figure at the University of New Orleans, which is the campus where they were having the show. So the Dynamite was broadcast from a building on the University of New Orleans campus. I get the tie-in of bringing in Master P as part of that. And even before I knew that, I thought, okay, great. So let me get this straight. WWE just did a show with Travis Scott all on it. And AEW is going to follow up with one of their, with another rapper.
Though
except it's Master fucking P.
20 years.
Who hasn't been relevant in 2 decades. But also let all of the conspiracy theorists chime in on how AEW is WCW 2.0, because as we remember, Master P had a fucking faction in WCW. So, but I mean, it is what it is. It was a good watch. Dynamite was a pretty good show from top to bottom. It was entertaining. It entertained me, and I can say that. Look, man, I'm fine with having the Samoa Joe versus John Moxley match at a glorified Dynamite.
But why is this guy? Why is he in the middle of the ring while Joe is choking out Moxley, then trying to talk and say shit? It was clunky as fuck. The guy was not relevant in WCW, even though he was popular at the time. He wasn't relevant.
It was just funny watching him go, oh, whoa. And then he was doing those little chops, those little weak baby punches.
Yeah, he wasn't landing shit. It was just so weird.
It looked like a cat pawing at a parakeet.
But the difference is this: Travis Scott, everyone just crying. Oh, this is WrestleMania. It's a travesty. But the guy was at Elimination Chamber. Thank you. He was at Elimination Chamber. He fucking pancaked, potatoed Cody.
Yeah, he did.
Broke his fucking eardrum. So to have him come out made sense in what they had set up and done. To have Master P come out then is exactly what Triple H mentioned in the press conference, and that is the stars right now who are relevant in pop culture are coming to us and asking us if we can go to the show, be a part of the show, etc. He said it just a while back. It wasn't like that. It was the people who were already on a downslide or in the past. This is the weird thing.
But they've done this before in AEW. They did this about 2 years ago. They had it was either DJ Khaled or someone. He was cursing up a storm. But what the point is that this isn't new for AEW to go there.
No, but it crisscrossed back. So where AEW was in 2020 and the popularity and getting some, more recognizable stars was the brand was popular and WWE couldn't get guys to come in. Now it's crisscross. Yeah. And I think Master P, even though, hey, great. If you're a New Orleans person who is very influential and stuff, sit in the fucking front row. Show them on camera. Great. Right. That's great. TNA did that with fucking Debbie Gibson. All right. She lives here. She was at that thing and not a wrestling fan, I could see her
literally. But you know why they did it? Because you could say you got a rapper. He is well known, even if he's not relevant, and he's cheap. He's cheap. And you're not going to get any traction.
But these guys do it for free.
I know. You're not going to get any traction off that. We all get it. If he shows up the following week with the ops, that's something else. With Travis Scott, it wasn't just about Travis Scott. It was if it mattered enough that he was part of Elimination Chamber, then it also should have mattered enough for The Rock to show his face. I'm not on that hill dying. I'm on the hill with two machine guns blazing.
But the difference is that Travis Scott brought you millions upon millions of eyes.
Don't doubt it.
Master P makes he did. It's people who didn't watch wrestling that I talked to this week.
Fair enough.
Said, "Oh, I saw Travis Scott was there."
AEW has no identity.
That's what I'm saying. It makes them look like they're a step down. And even sadder is who was in the ring when that thing started. Tony's fucking Schiavone at almost 70 and Master P in his 50s. You are literally going, the only people who like that shit are people who are,
forget about Master P. Tony Schiavone was exactly where he needed to be. They didn't have him on the commentary team.
1000%.
He needs to be sitting there with the mic, deadpan, being in the way and being like a cardboard cutout. That is his best attribute. If you have him do that, that's fine.
No, but what I'm saying is that you literally took, as BKL says here, don't forget Master P has been WCW in 1999. I was 8 years old, right?
We said 20
what
years,
I'm saying is here's a guy who is ancient and a broadcasting legend, quote unquote, right? And a guy who was in the same ring, in the same company at the same time, almost 30 years ago, right? 25 years ago, just over 25 years ago.
Oh no, you're right. The guy is dust.
Yeah, I'm saying the optics of you being a hip, successful company.
Yeah.
That's what you got to show. That's how you get people to watch you again. As much as I hate the Boom fucking guys, they have a fucking
Irrelevant.
following.
Yeah.
And then that only needed to be done once. I mean, I remember when the show was newer, AEW had Gabriel Iglesias cut a promo, and now he's on WWE behind the scenes, like, you know, behind the stage in a more pertinent role.
Well, he's also hosting the Rivals show now too.
Right. And that's the thing. They WWE has hiring power, and they're on a tear right now. You know, I could complain about certain elements of the end of WrestleMania, this, that, and the other, but they're still on a tear right now. AEW is like the stock market. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down, but it never, that line in between us, you know, the purple to the black, it never rises any significant amount.
Well, and Andre says here now WWE will bring in Lil Wayne for Mania next year just to show AEW how to use entertainers / rappers. I'll say SummerSlam, Cardi B, because that's what was just fucking announced.
Yeah, and
I was actually gonna say, unfortunately,
Lil Wayne's
I think WWE learned their lesson with Lil Wayne from a few years back at WrestleMania when Jey Uso's entrance. Yeah.
Well, I happen to be in the know that AEW for All In is going to have the Michael Jackson impersonator from MJ Live on the Strip. He's going to do a sunwalk.
Don't start with Santana, dude. Santana's a friend of the show, and you're gonna start throwing it out there. I'm gonna have to set up Santana to kick your ass as well.
I just threw out a random concept. I didn't even. This fucking guy knows it.
Speaking of throwing out random concepts, I'm glad you said that because you set this up nicely. What the fuck?
I feel sorry for the Rock and Roll Express. They get the shit kicked out of themselves every other week on AEW now.
That's the only time that you ever see them is when they're getting the shit beat out of them. And you know, if
FTR or being saved by FTR.
If FTR is, you know, if they're gonna do,
wait a minute, is that the name? Is that what the name was meant? Fuck the Rock and Roll Express.
Basically, no. I think the thing that gets me with the whole thing is that they are the living legend killers. That's what the shirt says. Right. So Randy Orton from 20 fucking years ago, you're recycling that gimmick. Okay, great. It is what it is. FTR, they're rolling heel now, and Stokely is their manager. That match actually was really a fucking great tag match, though. The tag match on Collision with Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong was a fucking great match.
Well, wait a minute. I want to chime in this. You guys have ignored the elephant in the room. You mentioned his name already, but every person who gets tagged up with Stokely fucking Hathaway, they go down the shitter in a big fucking swirl. He is cancer. I've never heard of a floating manager quite like this. AEW's got two, him and Smart Mark Sterling, and anyone who gets repped by them either gets the hell out of that company, drops them, or they go in a nosedive. It's never good. I don't understand this. You're going to have a token manager who just gets bounced around.
Whoa. I understand half of you can say token, but watch it.
I knew this was coming. Excuse me, we do not like the DEI manager that was forced upon these two fine patriotic tag individuals known as Fuck the Riccaboni, because he does not get the respect that he deserves. And we were so happy to see Ian at the chair taking the place of Tony Schiavone, who should be, quite honestly, baristing. And he's not even good enough for Starbucks, okay? He should be working at a little Dutch coffee place, one of those little kiosks, because that's all he's good for, okay? He's good enough where he could pull the little lever and make the iced coffee. That's what he's good for. So sad. Thank God they finally got him out of the ring. Got him out of the announce chair. But we like you, Ian Riccaboni. Such a good job. Tremendous work.
So, I mean, the FTR match was great, but we saw it 6 weeks ago here in Vegas. That's the other thing is like, no one's moving forward and shit. It's just like, you just said it. The Rock and Roll Express got beat up again. And they wrestled fucking.
Oh, I said MJ Live, and you meant Santana. For a second, I thought you meant Santana was the guy doing the Michael Jackson impersonation on the strip.
Santana Jackson is the guy who does it on the strip, who does the DDT moonwalk, who is a wrestler and the friend of the show. Mike Santana is the guy who is a wrestler in TNA and lost to Mustafa Ali at the pay-per-view, or won actually at the pay-per-view.
Well, the fuck am I so? You know what the fucked up thing is, and I'm going to interrupt, but I went to midget wrestling after Monday Night Raw, and I get to midget wrestling, and in the stands is comedian Adam Dominguez, and the show ends. Great show, by the way. Didn't know that's where Hornswoggle ended up.
Yeah.
And I leave,
there.
and they go to me, "Hey, Rob, you should say hi to Sabu." And I said, "What?" Now, in the comedy scene of Vegas is a porn star named Tylee Texas. 5'1", gigantic boobs, really cool girl. And I said, "I don't see Sabu. What are you talking about? Look at the Game of Thrones chairs. We're at the Nerd. Who is there? Sabu in the Game of Thrones chair with this little 5'1" girl with big boobs bouncing up and down in his face. And for the next 2 days, everywhere I went, he was there with her. And you know what? All of these people say to me, oh yeah. You're in the Vegas Bat. It's cool. I tell Matt I'm looking for him. Every conversation ends with, hey, this is Tornado. Don't you know this is freaking Tornado? Tell Matt I'm looking for him. Tell him to call me." And my world is shrinking. I had 3 hemispheres. I had wrestling, porn, and comedy. And all you motherfuckers are swirling around, confusing the shit out of me. Oh, I don't know that the Michael Jackson impersonator is the same guy who's the Michael Jackson wrestler, who's also got the same name as the guy from the fucking Bronx. And you guys are talking about he's going to come kick my ass. You know how confused I am? I just drew out some innocuous name, not knowing that once again, he would be somebody in the scene that I should have known about. What the fuck are you guys doing to me? I don't even do drugs. I'm so confused.
Just as long as you didn't accidentally say midget. That's
I said midget wrestling, not little people wrestling, not height impaired wrestling, full on fucking double M midget wrestling. Okay. Midgets. Okay. These are the biggest little people that anyone's ever seen. These are midgets like never seen before.
And that is actually what they call it. Billy Blade. It's micro midget wrestling.
It is called midget wrestling. I'm not trying to be,
micro midget wrestling. They have a residency at the Nerd Bar. I catch a show. It's usually I think 11:30 on weekends, or they might be playing a strip club here every now and then too. So catch them. It's a great show too if you've never seen it. It's entertaining. Speaking of strippers, Anna Jay made a return, and then got laid out by Megan Bain. Apparently, why do we bring people back just to get their ass handed to them by someone else? And will we see Anna Jay again? Like, I was so confused.
I mean, realistically, there are other ways to do what they did in that segment. I get the concern that everybody was worried. No, Howie Felter Snatch is actually he's supposed to debut at Double or Nothing, so he'll be
all in.
Oh yeah. Then he'll be all out. Then he'll be all in again.
Yep.
But, obviously a lot of people were concerned after Toni Storm beat Megan Bain because they thought, and rightfully so, that Megan Bain would be, cast to the mid card and, realistically,
not Jade Cargill.
Realistically, they have a track record of doing exactly that.
Yeah,
which sucks.
Absolutely.
But the fact is, now they did continue the Megan Bain as a badass kind of character arc. So that way it kind of instills that you're going to continue to see her showing up and just murking chicks on the show, which is awesome. Like, just
but
But was Anna Jay ever really relevant? She got dragged along into good factions, but was she on
Dark
her own ever
Order,
relevant?
she's
No.
never been on like a crazy win streak or anything like that. So she's been essentially glorified enhancement talent,
That's the
albeit
best she ever did.
homegrown glorified enhancement talent.
That's the best she ever did, was carrying -1 on her back. And maybe you could beat one off after the show thinking of her, slapping a tongue with Ty Conte, but she's always ever been a side chick.
But she's an established name who they show her record, right? Why not bring her in, win 2 or 3 matches, and then have Bane literally wrestle her and beat her? That's what I'm saying. It just didn't make any sense to see someone that we haven't seen forever and then have her win a match.
Women's division. Nothing they do makes sense. They put Harley Cameron on a good run, and then they threw in a luchador mask for a week or 2. Nothing they do makes any goddamn sense. We already know that it's going to be Mercedes Moné at All In. All this stuff in between is subterfuge. We got a match in between that's going to decide.
Not,
It's going to be her. It's going to be her, and she's going to win, and she's going to be.
Well, wait. See, now the only thing that saves this whole thing
is that she might lose.
No, is that Athena costs her the match.
Yes.
Against Jamie Hayter. It's the only thing that makes fucking sense right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm holding out for exactly.
Right.
Because that gives you 2 matches at All In. That gives you Hayter versus Storm, which rematches a title match, and it gives you Moné versus Athena, which rightfully should be in that stadium.
Now, you two, I respect your opinions. I agree with your opinion. But Cracky McCrackhead probably won't do it. He's going to go for the easy one, which will just be, I want the girl with the most belts versus what's her name? The one from that movie with the blonde hair. Her. Yeah. And can somebody get Jade Cargill back? She hasn't been answering my calls.
Steve,
she got tired of me sniffing her hair.
I will shock you, Steve. I think out of all the fucking AEW programming this week, there was one good fucking match I saw, and that was
it.
The Bandito
That was a
match.
great match.
Yep. I gotta say, I can't say anything negative about that match. I thought that was great. I thought it should have been on Dynamite. I was pissed once again. If you're gonna do these things that are after the playoffs, the problem is that the DVRs don't adjust. So that whole FTR thing got cut off because that match did not make that timing in the final, that final half an hour that got wiped out by the
basketball.
Yeah. So
because I turned it on and I'm like, all right, let me watch it on my TV. I usually watch on my computer. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? The NBA playoffs? Here we go. That my DVR is going to do this on the time, and then it's going to give me the 5 minutes if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
And I had to train it to do that because the famous TNA match with Storm versus Bobby Roode, when Roode screws him over, my DVR cut off that last 5 minutes, so I never saw it.
And I definitely agree with Sportertainment guy. Drew Listico and Bandito put on a hell of a match. And unfortunately, it's just going to be completely an afterthought in this show. And quite honestly, in this week of programming. Just because there are so many different things that overshadowed it and not necessarily for the right reasons. But
speaking of, Steve, you just made a great thing, an afterthought. Look at this guy and that potential logo behind him. Breaking news, Wardlow meets with WWE. Wardlow's surprise absence from Pandemonium Pro Wrestling's April 17th event is because he met with WWE. Quote, Wardlow was pulled from the senior scramble to attend the WWE Hall of Fame with Barbarian and speak with WWE officials as well. Sources say there were talks planned between him and WWE higher-ups while he appeared alongside the Barbarian. Wardlow has been reportedly recovering from an injury and pursuing outside projects in Los Angeles. Stay tuned. I can't wait to see them tag him with the Barbarian, and then we get Wardlow and the Barbarian.
Realistically, though, I hate to be the actually, he's still under contract. So if that happened, that's actually contract tampering. So I hate to
unless they find a way to buy him out, if that's possible,
shoot holes right into that. But yeah, he was booked for the Pandemonium Pro show,
right?
Which I had tickets to, and quite honestly, I was looking forward to seeing him. He was pulled, strangely enough, right along with Shelton Benjamin, and both of those guys are employed by the same company. So take that however you will.
Now,
all I'll say is they need to give him something better than a Powerbomb Symphony as a finisher.
Oh my God, dude! Like he deserves to be on TV every week. To be as strong as he is and as agile as he is, that guy is a great talent, and he deserves to be used on a consistent basis. Whether that's WWE, AEW, anything, Wardlow needs to be on TV.
Speaking of, things about TV and controversies and people showing up, The Rock may be trying to get Triple H fired from WWE, Jonathan Coachman stated on his podcast. Vince Russo speculated The Rock is secretly working with Vince McMahon to sabotage Triple H. Russo believes backstage politics could have played a role in The Rock's absence from WrestleMania 41 via Behind the Turnbuckle and Sportskeeda. I just found that hysterical. This idea of, The Rock is trying to sabotage the product that he's in charge of. I mean,
yeah, but you gotta think about it like this. You were at home watching WrestleMania, right?
Yes.
I'm walking across that bridge, the amount of disgusted people, it was not one or two, it was everyone. It was insanity. And here's the thing. Yes, you are a more seasoned person of wrestling, and I'm saying that as a compliment. For the garden variety person who wants their attitude era hit, and you give me this incredible elimination chamber scene. WWE plasters is on TV for 2 or 3 weeks with The Rock and Cena and Travis Scott, and then The Rock is absent for the coming weeks, and you go, all right, well, it's cool. He'll show up at WrestleMania and Travis Scott will take a bump, and then The Rock will show up. They'll pump his music. He'll nutshot Cody, and then this way Cody doesn't have to have that moral tussle of the obvious choice, which is to protect your title. No, he'll get laid out by The Rock, and then Cena will get the 1, 2, 3. And The Rock doesn't show up, and all these people are now, wait a minute, there's got to be some ulterior motive, because it was the most obvious choice for The Rock to be present at this crossroads that he helped generate and build, and then he just didn't show up. And
Dwayne, what do you got to say? Hi, Rob. The business is a complete work. Always has been, always will be. Every aspect of it, every match, every interview. Please join me, Cody, Cena, Brian, and the rest of us for our creative discussions so you can expand your perspective. Until then, stop ranting. It's not healthy, my friend. Enjoy the show. P.S. Tell Bubba I have a Grand Marinier and Hush Puppies for
Grand Marnier and Hush Puppies. Fuck your Grand Marnier. Fuck your Hush Puppies. Fuck your 5 o'clock White Shadow beard. Fuck the fact that you decide to go out as the honky tonk man for your 1 time a year presence. Okay. You've turned into fucking Brock Lesnar. Your movies fucking suck. All right. Oh, am I being a fair weather friend? No. Fucking, I haven't seen one movie where I went, holy shit. This is Rock's signature movie. You know what? This is what made him Dwayne Johnson and not The Rock. No, not your whisper fucking gritty bullshit. Not Walking Tall. Not that remake that you made of Die Hard where you had a peg leg. Fuck you and your shitty movies. Fuck you and not showing up for work, okay? I'm more afraid of the Michael Jackson impersonator down the city who's going to come kick my ass than you. Because you know what? That would mean that you still took the time to show up. You lazy fuck. You have a billion fucking, but you know what? You really are the storyline that John Cena is alluding to, because you do, in theory, show up every year and you kind of just piss off the fans, and the fans are tired of you. They're tired of Cena, but at least Cena, you know, he did it on his own, but you gave us something and then you pulled the rug out from thousands of people. I'm not afraid. I'm not like DJ. I spent $2,500 to sit there and watch you fuck up the last match of WrestleMania 41 because your punk ass was too goddamn lazy to get your Samoan black ass off the fucking couch and get to work. Now, I'm just a lowly comic and a weekend manager at a fucking Best Buy. Guess what? Still don't care. You fucking blew it, buddy. Now, you're still going to have millions at the end of the day. But you know what? A lot of people don't like Trump, and he's still going to be the president. I get it. My comic goes down a big black hole. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you had a simple thing to do. You could have even done it like Tessa Blanchard when they asked her to just cut a promo. Hey, Tessa, you're off in Mexico. You've got our belt. I get it. There's a pandemic. Could you just cut a promo in between sucking Daga off? Oh, that's too hard for you to do, Rock. And just go, hey, Cena, go whip his ass. That's all you had to say. But that doesn't line up. Yes, it does. You set up the storyline, carry out the storyline, don't fuck up WrestleMania, and then because of your dumbass laziness, it kind of, everybody else was like, oh man, these matches kind of sucked. And then I was sitting there and seeing people going, no, WrestleMania 41 kicked ass. Those people worked hard. They put on a good match night one, and on night two was great. Just because the last 10 minutes, The Rock blew because he was too goddamn lazy, it tarnished everything that everybody else did. And they put in a good show, and they deserve to have credit for having one of the best WrestleManias. But because Dwayne is such a lazy fuck, I don't know which half of him is lazy. The one eating fucking fried chicken or the one eating coconuts. Get your fucking lazy ass to work next time. And if it takes you 10 minutes to cut a promo to get yourself out of this, fucking do it. Then you can go back to making your shitty B movies that no one really gives a fuck about until they go direct to digital, because that's where they belong.
Mark, what do you got to say about that, buddy? The Undertaker says fans should sit back and enjoy the show instead of trying to book it.
Man in a fucking box seat right now. He's another one. How many times did they have to laser off his ex-wives' names? Because they're sick of him. Get the fuck out of here. Ask Sarah what she thinks of him.
Quote, I think they got put over so much that they actually believe me.
Good, then I don't have to spend money for your fucking tickets. I don't have to tune in. What do we say when AEW blows it? We go, we're not going to watch anymore. Fuck you, Tony. Your show is substandard. Your champion refuses to wear his belt around. You've got a pedophile storyline going on. Fuck you. And then we stop watching. WWE isn't owed my fucking viewership. And just because I've got you on fucking auto record in DirecTV, I could click that button in a second because DirecTV is forcing me to sit through the commercials if I watch it later on anyway. So your chances of keeping me watching are really thin. And this idea that you're going to make fucking Sami Zayn the redheaded stepchild figuratively and literally for the billionth goddamn time? Okay, here we go again.
Well, that's a perfect way to get into the over-under for this week's AEW. And then, Steve, what do you got going this week?
All right, man. So as of right now, as I'm checking the AEW Twitter feed, they've actually announced 2 segments and 2 matches for the show. So there's So one of which is a tournament semifinal. It's Hangman Page versus Kyle Fletcher and the Owen.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. But then elsewhere on the show, we've got a segment with MJF and a segment with the Hurt Syndicate. That seems to tell me that that's actually going to be one segment together. And the other thing that's going to be on the show is an all-star 8-man tag. Now, this all-star 8-man tag is going to be, on one side, you've got Kenny Omega. Okay. Kenny Omega, Mark Briscoe, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. All right. The other side, you've got the Young Bucks, Kazuchika Okada, and fucking Ricochet. I mean, realistically, you can tell exactly what's going to happen with this shit. And again, they go down this route of predictable storytelling. The fact is, this match, it blows my mind that why these guys are in this type of a match. I could get behind, maybe a 6-man with the Bucks and Okada versus Omega, Speedball, and Kevin Knight. That's fine. But what the actual fuck? So, in essence, what this is leading me to say is that it is a 100% odd. Yeah, I'm saying that. It's gonna fucking happen. That at the end of this particular segment, because this is how it's always been, you're gonna have the Young Bucks standing tall while the baby faces are down, and especially because they ran them off on Collision. So obviously they have to get their heat back. So obviously this is going to be a destruction of babyface talent that you're desperately trying to get over. Speedball Mike Bailey, brand new to the company. Kevin Knight, brand new to the company. Mark Briscoe, yes, he's been with the company for a long ass time, but that guy is unbelievably over with the fans. Everybody loves him. And of course, Kenny Omega, who is a special talent. This is just a recipe for get that heat, get that heat, get that heat.
Okay. There we go. That brings us into a little social media dump here. And it's kind of a cross here because the first thing I want to bring up is the Pope passed away this week. And I think someone might have something to say about this because breaking news, Trump declares himself a new pope. Quote, no one knows more about poping than me.
This is true. This is so true. They call me the pontiff. They call me the pontiff supreme, the supreme pontiff. Nobody speaks to Jesus more than I do. Never, ever have they had so many people say, they say this all the time. They go, Donald, what is it like hearing the word of God? And I said, I just spoke. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And to Mr. Johnson, you're fired. You're fired. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. You're fired. Look what happens when you get a DEI CEO. So sad. So sad. Get him out of here. You're fired. So sad. My CEO's come. Linda McMahon shows up for work. Okay. The McMahons know what to do. You get Vince in there because his wife, she's doing a tremendous job. She knows to show up, and she takes stunners she takes a stunner. In fact, she came to my White House bedroom, and I gave her so many stunners. It was stunners like never seen before. And then I blessed her. I gave her blessings. I baptized her. The golden streams baptized her.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
well,
so good. You're welcome, Linda.
I personally, my feeling is that there's only one person who could be Pope, and that is a new Pope has been elected. Peace be with you, brother. That's
First
right.
of all, that's AI. He looks cross-eyed in that picture, and he's spending too much time drinking real American beer. It tastes like piss. Okay, we don't like real American beer. We like real Trump American beer. It's a golden lager, and it's delicious. It's tremendous. It's a fantastic lager.
I knew,
Straight
Rob.
from the tap.
I knew, Rob, that you wouldn't like Hulk Hogan as Pope. You'd like him more like this.
Jeez.
Kapla.
All right. Here, this week we lost Steve McMichael. This was shared by Deborah McMichael. First time ever to share this personal picture. Steve and I on our wedding day, February 26, 1985. I'll always love you, Steve. And here, interesting pictorial of Walter Payton greeting Steve McMahon at the gates of heaven. Lest we forget, Walter Payton was actually involved in SummerSlam 1994 in Chicago. So 2 wrestling related people there from the Chicago Bears championship team. Speaking of heaven, when Rhea is so fine that Jesus has to come back and see Mammy. There's Mommy and Jesus looking at her. Speaking of Jesus looking at things, man.
Excuse me. Clean up.
Yeah.
On,
well, Rob,
right here.
Oh, there's the green package.
Rob, if that didn't get you, here's a little half moons.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
shit.
Oh my god! And look
that's-
at her, and look at she's excited already. Look at the look on her face. Oh my
Yeah,
god! She
and-
was never so happy to have chafage.
I want to know how she got her nipples up, 2 more up there on the. On
No,
the
no, no!
left
Don't
side.
ruin it! Don't ruin it! Photoshop that out! Don't ruin it! Don't ruin it!
Oh man,
I'm under no illusions that I'll probably never meet her under any legal circumstances.
Yeah. Speaking of getting banned for immediate release due to his contemptible action last night, Heyman Hustle, aka Judas, is hereby banned from both Jimmy's Famous Seafood and the Island of Relevancy. So Jimmy's Famous Seafood has banned Paul Heyman from the restaurant. Speaking of great ideas, Joe Hendry, Arcade Joe. There we go. Make this tag team happen.
Oh, that'd be great.
Speaking of making it happen, in 2009, Jessica Carr asked Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase for a photo as a fan. 15 years later, she was the ref for Cody's first title defense as world champion in WWE. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Cool for
That's
her,
pretty
not cool for Cody.
Why?
No, 15.
Because it was
I know,
a
I'm
woman.
making a joke.
Because it was
No,
a woman referee, Rob.
No,
Jesus,
I'm saying
man.
I'm fucking going to make it a joke at Cody, and you turn some misogynist crap. No, I mean, Jesus, I want her to ref me and Jade Cargo wrestling. Jesus.
Wait, you and Jade Cargill wrestling Jesus. Oh, now you're an atheist too. Jeez, Rob. Oh man.
I was an atheist. Excuse me. I want him to bless our holy union. That's what I'm after. Okay.
Well,
And then we're going to have beautiful little trails. Believe me.
me farting as I walk through the hallways of work because I don't give a fuck anymore. There we go.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, always remember it could be worse. Oh, that
Yeah, it was
so
worse.
brutal.
This guy's tongue stapled to a fucking door.
God, that was so brutal. Speaking of brutal, Triple Ace roasts his own wax figure. Wax figure was
What
so
the
fucking
hell?
bad. Yeah, it was up there at WWE World. Speaking of bad things, Fozzy single "Fall in Line" is about as good as Chris Jericho's wrestling these days. It's not. How about that? Hey, has anyone been in to see the Grande Americano at Starbucks?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Great drink.
Oh.
Speaking of, Ron Truth, our Truth says, "Hey, you look awfully familiar." And Grande Americano says, "I'm not Chad Gable." And our Truth says, "I know it's you in there, Cena." But
By
we
the
all
way, that
know-
was the best part where he walks by Cena and Cena couldn't be angry at him.
Yeah.
That was the greatest. He tried to hold back from smiling.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
just you can't
He's
get angry at our Truth. Even
No.
evil Cena can't be angry at our Truth. I want to be like him when I grow up.
Well, speaking of, we did get confirmation this week on the identity of Grande Americano. It is this guy.
That doesn't look like Vince McMahon. That looks like the dude who freaking coached the Alabama team. That looks like Nick Saban.
Saban.
Looks more
I
like
know
him.
you missed the mustache. If the mustache was there, then you'd realize it was him.
Looks more like
Rob
Vicente McMahon.
Oh, Jesus. I forgot about this.
Vicente, yeah. Rob, that's for you. But you know what? Sean didn't do it first. Jerry
Dang.
Lawler did.
Christ, and there's even more. Yeah, but he still has underwear on at least.
Yeah, but he's wearing the rug as a shirt. Oh wait, that's his chest here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, do you guys any of you shop on Temu? Ever use Temu?
Yeah,
You
sure.
know, where
once.
you get some of the the same American products, but they're like Chinese knockoffs for a cheaper price. I especially like their version of Raven on Temu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, he does come home to Anna Jay every night, so he's at least winning in some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, until Megan Bain bangs down the door and then beats the fuck out of Anna Jay.
Hey, okay.
Oh no, she's got a strap on with his name on it. She's taking them both out.
Are you sure it doesn't say Dylan?
Oh,
I don't know. Too soon.
That's going to be cold and wet.
Hey, speaking of R-Truth, R-Truth revealed his top 3 favorite twin tag teams of all time: Nikki and Brie Bella, Jimmy and Jey Uso, and Tom and Nick Mysterio.
Yep. He should have cut that promo. That would have been great.
We were expecting Rusev, and we got his lawyer for WrestleMania.
that's right.
Mm.
Say his name.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
Yeah. Did it just hit you, Rob?
Who the fuck thinks that far back? All these guys are.
Hey,
I
man,
remember when
those extras.
what's her name was the psychiatrist or something. Chelsea Green played
Chelsea
the doctor.
Green.
Yeah, she played the
Yeah.
doctor that was assaulted by Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Absolutely. Speaking of getting assaulted, we had an NFL draft, and looks like the ID, WWE ID, got Shadir Sanders before anyone else could. You know, this has been going around. I think this is one of the best images this week. Ron Breaker as AC Slater, Sami Zayn as Screech, and Logan Paul as Zach Morris. We got to make this happen.
Zayn and Paul, those look really spot on.
Yeah,
Ron Breaker a little less, but
that's got to happen.
Yeah, I want to see that.
You needed to give Breaker a mullet.
Well, speaking of, I had to go back and dig up a picture from the. You remember the Hardy Boys were on the Three Faces of Foley videotape back in 1998, and they were not really a known tag team at that point. And I had to grab a screenshot of Mick Foley with Hardy Boys from back then.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man.
Man.
This just broke. Actually, Kurt Hammett says Metallica is open for a show at the Las Vegas Sphere. Oh, heck yeah. Would that not be fucking amazing, man? Get Metallica.
Sign me up.
Okay.
Sign me the
non
fuck up.
sequitur, but okay.
Yeah, well, hey, man, it's Las Vegas, Rob, and we're the bad boys of Las Vegas. And sometimes you just have to fucking throw out the Sandman's entrance band and make people realize that they need to play at the Sphere and that the Sandman needs to come from the 4th level all the way down the Sphere.
Wait a minute. But because of The Rock, I spent $2,500 and DJ still selling his ass on the corner. So they're going to need to project it outside so my cheap ass can watch it from my rooftop.
Yeah, or maybe you need to sell more TVs. Speaking of TV, all right, there is our own referee Cody helping out Pat McAfee. Apparently, Cody has a doctor's license now, so he might get some malpractice possibly for helping out Pat McAfee if McAfee, had some problems and issues. I don't know if he has that license. Speaking of license to look like, look at this. Our own Rob with the TNA International Champion, Steve Macklin. I believe, Rob, you are still washing that sweat off your body because he was a drenched man at the end.
I had bottles. I was just collecting it and making a perfume out of it. A cologne for men.
Well,
it was called International by Rob.
There you go. And me and Steve got to try on Andre the Giant's championship belt, which was pretty cool.
Right.
So
he didn't have the Winged Eagle belt.
I mean, look at dude. We got in a belt, okay?
Finally got him. Took all night, but I got him.
We got in a belt.
Well, fucking played.
All right. So, really quick here before we go, Rob, you're a comedian.
Oh, Jesus.
There were controversial jokes from WrestleMania. Number one, Jinder Mahal wasn't at WrestleMania because he was having a midlife ISIS.
Oh no, yeah, just hold on. You gotta do it with some timing.
You know, they want me to read these because other people don't have the balls to do it. We got Jinder Mahal. Remember the guy in the turban? He wasn't at WrestleMania because he was having a midwife ISIS, which we destroyed sharply after, but we got rid of him. And then we had the WrestleMania. Jey Uso was the underdog, which is what Nakamura ate for dinner tonight. Oh, they love that dog. They love dog. They ate it with curry sauce. And then Paul Heyman, he made a joke about Maurice's private parts. He also said Shayna Baszler had a penis, and it was a huge penis. Quite honestly, one of the biggest ever seen before. Jacob Fatu, they are fat people, became the U.S. champion, which is crazy because if the president of the United States saw Jacob, he would deport him to El Salvador. We're going to send him to SeaCat. First class. El Slingo Shato. Naomi, okay, black lady. And Jade Cargill, also black. They love me. Had their match, and when it comes to their rivalry, we've only just begun, and they will face off again at your Waffle House. Okay, we see what I did there? They have the Weaves and the Waffles. That's what they're going to call it, the Battle of the Weaves and the Waffles. Okay, the Weaves and the Waffles. You have to owe me money when they do it. Charlotte Flair, she appeared to be the main source of the attack, as there were many jokes made regarding her divorce and plastic surgeries. And, I miss Jey Uso. Don't forget little Jey Uso. And he's celebrating hitting the bar in history shows. He'll have a nice drive home tonight if he makes it home all the way. Hopefully the Florida Highway Patrol will be waiting like they always are. And there was a joke about the Allegiant City being so big and black that Hulk Hogan wouldn't let his daughter anywhere near it. He wouldn't let her near it, but he would let them into it. Believe me. And Nia Jackson to BDSM. Okay, her safety words are down, set, and hut. I thought she was a BBW. I thought that's what she was into. No, that's what she is. And I said Nia Jax's name 3 times, and Mike Rockpot came on. I said Nia Jax's name 3 times, and my doctor called me and said it was time to get on statins. It's 420, a Dave celebration for pot smokers and Christians. It was also Hitler's birthday, so it's probably a celebration for Gunther too. He was saluting all day long. So patriotic. He was doing so many salutes, more salutes than you've ever seen before. And
him and Musk together?
They were saluting and they were stepping on stars. I don't know what that was all about. And I know nothing about that. They were standing on stars. Don't know what that was about. Didn't have anything to do with it. And then we had Nakamura. He was supposed to appear at a roast, but he got a tariff put on him for booking. And quite honestly, we can't have him. None of us speak chopstick. And then Tony says he wants Del Rio. That means by the Rio at the roast of the WWE. But he has yet to turn that page. And you know what? They said she wasn't open for anything that he was involved in. And then probably the most out of the pocket was Paul Heyman. He was making a joke about Freddie Prinze starting a WrestleMania promotion, saying all we need is a wrestling promotion like Freddie Prinze's father needs another hole in the fucking head. You know, the last time they had a comic try to write a show, we were left with Sami Zayn doing stand-up. And every time he does a stand-up show, all I have to do is call little Braun Breaker, and he'll put him right on his ass. Stop taking airtime from real fucking comedians, okay? You're a piece of shit for doing it.
You know, the funniest thing about this was these are supposed to be the controversial jokes from WrestleMania Roast. And number 7 was CM Punk is straight edge from drugs, alcohol, and winning at WrestleMania. What the fuck is controversial about that out of all this other shit? Like, that's controversial. He doesn't win at WrestleMania. Big deal. I don't get
you know what I would have said on that one? Real simple.
Wow, I never see a guy fight harder for his dog than he did his wife.
Hey man, don't diss Larry. Okay.
Okay, but it's okay to diss Fragile Phil. Got it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I didn't know who looked older, him or in living color. Jesus.
Well, you know what?
Look in my eyes. What do you see? A hip of fragility. I've got a walker that you can't see. I got a hip that's fragility.
I don't care what you say. It was just cool to see Keenan Ivory Waynes and Marlon Waynes and Sean Waynes and Damon Waynes.
I didn't even know that Keenan Ivory Waynes could sing that well.
Yeah, it was. Everyone was there, but and Jim Carrey was, showed up.
One hugging them. Yeah.
Yeah. It was great to see Jim. I don't think he's been wrestling since he did the Andy Kaufman movie. So.
Oh my God.
Well,
that means that CM Punk is going to be taking all the prop falls for Jim Carrey and Sonic the Hedgehog 3, marking the end of both their careers.
Well, actually, Sonic 4. The third one's already been released.
Oh, well, nobody watched it, so.
Well, no one of importance. Go back to karaoke, Rob.
I'm an impersonator. I never said I can impersonate a singer.
Yeah. And speaking of impersonators, please go see the MJ live show with our friend Santana Jackson. It is absolutely one of the most spectacular.
You're welcome for the free plug, Mr. Santana. I think he's leading into the Jackson part so we don't deport him. We're looking into which is your real last name, Santana or Jackson. One gets you sent back to Atlanta, and the other one gets you sent to Nicaragua.
You did say Nick, right?
We said El Salvador.
Okay. Well, in that case, Rob, anything coming up for the people to know about?
Huh?
No,
not right now.
Where you do the ha-has and the knuck-knucks and the funnies?
I'm going to be rushing out of here to see if I can get in on some of the comedy that's happening right now at Bonfire and or Quads if they're still running tonight. And there'll be some things coming up. So just pay attention to my socials, and you'll see me doing or doing Trump or doing crack whores. I don't know. Well, whatever comes my way.
Well, just remember, if you go to Bonfire tonight and you don't see Rob there, just go across the street to Gypsy, and I'm sure you'll see him a couple drinks deep. And
excuse me, first of all, sir, the name is Piranhas, all right? And I'll be performing. I'll be performing as my name, El Presidente, okay? Because my cock will be al dente with El Presidente.
So, Steve, tell us a little bit about the pee-pee.
I mean, how do I even follow that shit? In all seriousness, though, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, very special thank you to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands foreign or domestic. Thank you for doing what you do so we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsports.com. reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout and save yourself 10%.
There you go. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. As Steve said. And it looks like, there's a lot of stuff going on in wrestling right now. So it's going to be an interesting few months. One of the things that we didn't even touch upon is the fact that AAA is now under WWE's umbrella.
Vikingo.
And Vikingo was in the TNA.
Featured pretty prominently.
Yeah, in TNA, in the X Division match. So that was great to see. And I love the fact that the internet is freaking out, saying that NXT is going to become NXT Mexico.
Yeah, NXT South.
Yeah. So
huge fucking win. Huge fucking win for WWE and TKO though, legitimately. Obviously right on the heels of AEW announcing their date at Arena Mexico, which by the way is now officially sold out. WWE announces that they just bought a whole fucking company. So massive.
They have all those.
Obviously, it's been in the works. I'm not saying that it was because of
that. And that's the one thing that got me this week more than anything is the fact that people were saying, "Oh, well, they just went and they bought the company because Tony made this." No. Tony found out that this was going to happen because he had a championship on a guy who was part of AAA.
Yeah.
And that belt obviously had to come off of him. So he knew this was in the works. So they got that deal together.
That deal was about as relevant as Master P showing up at a wrestling show.
Well, it probably is as old as Master P because it's probably been in the works since Master P's third album.
Realistically, it's been in the works for quite a while. But the point that I was trying to make is obviously you can see where the priorities are and where the priorities lie for the two business entities in professional wrestling. AEW is focused on booking a date or a couple of dates in Mexico. WWE and TKO buys a fucking promotion. So we're dealing with, two very, very polar opposite.
Now I have a legitimate question though. When The Rock and Triple H get divorced, who gets AAA and who gets NXT? I'm assuming NXT would go to Triple H and The Rock would get AAA.
No, The Rock's going to get New Japan. AAA will probably go to I would assume El Grande Americano.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can already imagine The Rock's first promo over there. Listen, you little slanty-eyed jabronis, get over here, shut your mouth, and enjoy the ride The Rock is taking you on, and learn some goddamn English if you smell what The Rock is cooking.
I can't wait for the El Grande Americano heel dates in AAA.
Yeah.
That's going to be fucking great.
That's going to be heat.
That is going to be fucking fun to watch.
The biggest thing about this that I think that people just don't have any concept of is that it sounds, they make it sound like, oh, the WWE just went out and they just purchased them. Well, you got to remember CMLL, right? And AAA have been bitter rivals for years and years and years. The one thing that AAA did that solidifies them is probably reached out to them and said, "Hey, we're looking to sell."
Oh yeah, they've been trying to sell that company for years.
Right. So this is. I think Rob. I think this is a comment for you.
I don't know. First of all, Jim, there's a line of people who wish to do me harm.
Santana Jackson.
The fucking Rock.
The Rock now. The president.
Santana Jackson right now is waiting for room service to get his cold strip meal. He has other things to do than to worry about me, a superior wrestling fan who has enough breeding to know that The Rock fucked up the end of WrestleMania 41 with his lack of being there. I mean, he treated it like it was his long-lost kid that he didn't want anything to do with. It was so...
DJ up back in the booth, so fine. White fuzzy slippers on the low-key rhyme. Spinning records till the break of dawn. And those slippers, he got it going on.
He wants to have a serious talk with you about the slippers. I saw him yesterday at Level Up, and he wants to know what the hell's going on with the slippers. Daryl is very perturbed.
Well, look at his feet, and you'll know what's going on with the slippers. And if that ends up getting us a sponsorship for White Fuzzy Slippers, then he did his job.
I thought I was horned up for black people, but forget about it, man. I wanted Jade Cargill. You want Daryl's feet. I don't know, man.
Hey, all I'm saying is, listen, I don't know about the black people, but the slippers are white.
Did any of you have a great time tonight? Yeah.
With that, everybody, thank you for hanging out. We'll do it all again next week. Till then, happy wrestling.
Rolling up the strip under neon lights. Podcast mic is glowing in the desert nights. Matt Michaels leading with the swagger tights. Sin City Steve right by your side. Alright, Rob Butcher Larry dropping truths, no fear. Broadcasting stories, make it loud and clear. From the Fremont edges to the Bellagio sphere. These bad boys rule, let me make that clear. Vegas bad boys, tearing up the scene.
To Matt Michaels and the Vegas Boys of Podcasting, this is John Cena saying thank you so much